Okay, today I will summarize for you this nice book about semantics in just three stages: the Greeks, the Arabs, and the modern times. What can be said about it? Okay, for the Greeks, you have this Bacchus who believed that life is a mere enjoyment, and you have a projection of that in the 20th century with the hippie movement, right? Just pleasures. This is life. But philosophers like Socrates, and this has nothing to do with the soccer player, great Brazilian soccer player Socrates, has something interesting. Mr. Socrates on page 19, he says, "All that I know is that I know none." And he speaks about different types of people: the fool, the philosopher, and the prophet. I will come back to these things at the end. So it was the philosopher of Athens, but unfortunately he was sentenced to death by the democracy of Athens. I may explain that if you want. Now, moving to the Arabs, I have this very nice old antique inherited from my father. It's called the السلم المنورق, the ladder of logic, written by Al-Akhdari, a very young Algerian who said this scientific study of meaning, and in which he tries to ترفع عنهم من سماء العقل سماء العقل كل حجاب من سحوب الجهل, and he draws a distinction between ignorance, complex ignorance, الجهل والجهل المركب, and as Dr. Harras, rest in peace, mentioned, والجهل المكعب, الجهل والجهل المركب والمكعب. On page 17, he talks about his debt to the great Greek philosopher Aristotle with his logic. And on page 67, he mentions this in لازم المقدمات بحسب المقدمات آت. So they say, whatever you sow, you will reap. Jesus said, you don't get grapes from thorns. إنك لا تجني من الشوك العنب, and whatever you sow, you will reap. So this is Mr. Al-Akhdar. And then quickly I move now to the modern times with Wolf, an American fireman who set a very nice theory, page 89. I will leave you the link at the bottom. Okay, so Wolf, 89. Well, to tell you the truth, I will tell it to you just from my mind, if you don't mind. That is, he believes that we do not live the real physical world, but just words, linguistic world. And as a fireman, he noticed that people behave very carefully in front of full petrol drums and carelessly smoking cigarettes in front of empty petrol drums, so-called empty, because in fact they were full of explosive gas, and they were more dangerous than the full petrol drums. Now moving to Mr. Frege, this is a friend of Bertrand Russell, famous Bertrand Russell, who says that if you believe in this turn the other cheek, maybe you will become an atheist. And he said, just try it with the prime minister and see what happens. Okay, Frege says, a doctor told a patient he was insane. Well, this sentence has got at least three readings. Well, the first reading or interpretation is that the patient is insane. or even the doctor himself is insane, or a third person is insane. This is Frege. And to mention Wittgenstein on page 98, this philosopher of language, 98. For Wittgenstein, the philosophers have waste too much time talking about different subjects. They should focus on language. Language is the key. So he gives this metaphor of the philosophers luring the fly into the bottle instead of saving it. And finally, talking about Mr. Bloomfield, the famous American structuralist, on page 128. Yes. Amongst the things he noticed in meaning is the narrowing and broadening of sense. So narrowing is when you speak about, you refer to meat as food. Or like in Moroccan Oujdi dialect, you say ta'am, which literally means food, but it's narrow to just couscous. Now going back to our Aristotle, you have Socrates and then Plato and then Aristotle. And Socrates is the teacher of all. He says, a fool is the one who does not know and does not know that he does not know. Avoid him. A philosopher is the one who knows that he does not know. Respect him. A prophet knows, and he knows that he knows. Follow him.